Watch and burn.
Hey everyone. So tonight I want to discuss an Uwe Boll film, which I know just saying the name Uwe Boll is enough to have everyone go, fuck this, I'm not watching anymore. But I'm going to be talking about Rampage. And I love this movie because I love how honest it feels. I love how simple the setup is. I love how direct the premise is. And I like how this is believable. Like, Bill, the main character in this, Bill Williamson, if memory serves, he orders all like the armored plating and shit off the internet, and he builds this really awesome and very well-made, full-on body armor set that like he's pretty much invincible. And I don't know. Like I said, I believe this movie. I know this movie has been thrashed through and through. And out of the 3 Rampage movies, this is my favorite one because the second and third, I like how it makes the mythology greater and it turns Bill's character into this sort of like god-like figure who people are like, yeah, he's really, you know, taking it and sticking it to the government and blah, blah, blah. But 2 and 3 get a little too outlandish. Whereas this one feels like this is the type of shit that happens every day. And aside from the over-planning and the fact that he kicks this off by blowing up the fucking police station to fully incapacitate them, things like this do happen every day. They're just, people aren't this well-armed or this well-armored. The last thing I can remember, the last time this happened was back in the 90s when those 2 guys robbed the bank and they were like head-to-toe in body armor and they had the police completely outgunned to the point where the police had to raid a local gun store in order to get automatic weapons, in order to better combat these 2 dudes that were robbing the bank that were armed, like armored from head to toe. But yeah, so aside from the armored aspect of this, this movie is incredibly real. It's just a really pissed off person going around shooting strangers for no good reason. And it's almost like, too, the other thing I liked about this is this movie has a really good sense of humor because he sets up like a fucking lawn chair down an alleyway and he just sits and waits and starts shooting random people walking down the street before he really kicks things off and goes nuts and starts walking into stores and whatnot, annihilating everyone. And he fucking decimates, like, everybody going by, it's like they're dead. And then when he goes into the hair salon place with all the chicks and he just comes in and gets a drink and he takes his mask off and leaves, and I was like, wow, he's letting them live. I was like, that's incredibly nice for somebody who's so obviously fucking deranged. He's letting this group of girls live. I was like, that's actually pretty decent. And right about the moment that I'd completed that thought, he walks back in. He's like, oh shit, I took my mask off, didn't I? And he's like, and he just fucking lights all them up. And there is a pile of fucking bodies in the back of the beauty salon. And it's really, really fun. And yeah, so he slaughters the entire town. And he manages to set the blame squarely on his buddy. I think his buddy's name is Evan. And Evan is the more obvious bad guy here in the sense that he's pissed off about society and he's bitching about this and he's bitching about that. So naturally, he does sort of look like the anarchist revolutionary who would bring a gun into town and start killing people. So Bill gets away with it. And he does get away with it because Evan is blamed. And so Bill is given ample time to skip town, which he does. And it looks like he got away with it, which he continues to through parts 2 and 3. But I wish that they had just chosen to leave this as a one-off because I love how he does what he decimates the town, blames his buddy, and then skips town and gets away with it. I thought that was like a really cool way to end the movie. And then making the story bigger and everything and carrying it on for parts 2 and 3. It's cool and everything, but it felt kind of unnecessary. Like, this movie did not need to turn into a fucking trilogy, you know? But I think I'll stop there. So thank you so much for hanging out with me for, it's a short one again, for a little over 4 minutes while I discussed Uwe Boll's much criticized and yet absolutely loved by me, Rampage. If you liked this review, like always, don't forget to do something nice for somebody. Don't forget that you guys are amazing and that I appreciate all of you. Have a good night. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe. And we will see you guys really soon.